Let's bring in Steve Moore, co-founder of the Committee to Unleash Prosperity. Steve, great to see you. Okay, so Jay Powell says the time has come for Fed policy to adjust. That's strongly implying a rate cut at the next meeting. Looks like 25 basis points. Do you think it could be bigger than that?
I think it probably will be 25 basis points. And I think that this is a mistake, Brian. And the reason I think it's a mistake is that it looks, I mean, you could make an argument for starting to reduce rates because inflation has come down, but we're still well above the 2% target. We're at about 3% right now. But here's the thing that I think bothers me about this. This looks blatantly political to me. It really does. I mean, we're 2 months to an election. The Fed has been talking about lowering rates for the last year to year and a half. Now they're going to do it right before an election. You know, Jerome Powell keeps talking about how he wants to keep divorce politics from their decisions. But when you look at this, I don't know. It's hard to say that this isn't a political maneuver. It really is.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Steve, because I was wondering the same thing myself and asking, what is Jerome Powell really risking if he's letting politics lead a decision here? Because you're right, we're not really back at that 2% yet. There are some that are concerned that we could risk the reigniting inflation here, especially with housing where it is. What are you worried about happening?
Well, first of all, I mean, I think you're spot on. And what would be the problem with waiting to, until after the election to make this decision? I think people would be much more comfortable with that. And I think Trump is going to attack this. I mean, back, by the way, when he was president, I remember they held rates way too high for too long in 2017 and almost, submerged the economy into a recession. So, now, should they be cutting rates? I think we're getting close to that point. But I still think, I still have that lingering worry about inflation, having gone to the grocery store and the gas pump and still seeing these high prices.
Smells a little fishy to me, Steve. That's all I'm going to say on that. But there's something else that smells fishy, too. And it was all what Kamala Harris was talking about last night. So if you watched her remarks, you saw a lot of the claims that she was making seemed to me like they were literally in desperate need of a fact check. Let's listen.
We are not going back to when Donald Trump tried to cut Social Security and Medicare. He and his allies would limit access to birth control, ban medication abortion, and enact a nationwide abortion ban with or without Congress. He intends to enact what in effect is a national sales tax, call it a Trump tax.
Okay, so I've never heard him say that he's going to cut Medicare and Social Security. I've never heard him say that there will be a nationwide abortion ban. I have never heard him say that there will be some Trump tax. Steve, he has been begging them to keep the old tax cuts in place. They're the ones that want to let them expire. You watch this and just don't even know what to think. She's lying.
You know why you haven't heard him say that? Because he never has said that. I've been in many meetings with him. And by the way, I would like to see some reductions in some of these entitlement programs. But Trump has basically said, I'm not cutting benefits. And look, I don't think we should be cutting Social Security benefits. And I don't think we should be cutting Medicare benefits. Although I do think, by the way, there's a lot of ways you could go after the fraud and abuse and double charging by the hospitals and the pharmaceutical companies without hurting people's benefits. On the abortion, look, Democrats want this election to be about abortion. Let's face it. They want it to be about abortion. We want it. I'm a Trump advisor, as you know. We want it to be about the economy, we want it to be about the kitchen table issues. And I found it so fascinating that, that Biden and Harris have been in office now for almost 4 years. And it's been 12 of the last 16 years. It's been the Democrats running Washington, and they're blaming all the problems with our economy on Trump. I mean, go figure.
Meanwhile, as we search for what Harris is promising to do, trying to figure out what her policy is, what we can tell so far is that it includes a lot more spending, the child tax credit, the help for first-time home buyers. But, Steve, what concerns me is how she's going to pay for this continued spending. What are you seeing as you analyze the details that we do have, some of them on your screen right now? Take us through what this will cost the American person.
So this is as serious as a heart attack for investors, and this is an investment show. You call it big money, how you can make money. tell you, I read through the synopsis of Kamala Harris's new tax plan, and this is one of the most anti-business, anti-investment tax proposals that I've seen in 40 years.
Yeah.
This would double the capital gains tax. It would tax unrealized capital gains for the first time. It would increase the corporate tax. It would increase tax on stock transactions. This is an assault on the investor and the business owners in America. It would have, in my opinion, an extremely negative effect on stocks. And now the market isn't down today because I think people are kind of shrugging off and saying, well, she's either not going to win or she's not going to get this through. But she's making Michael Dukakis and John Kerry and Hillary Clinton look like moderate conservatives compared to something like this that would, by the way, if you under that plan, if you were to invest, say, $1 million in a new investment and you take into account all of these tiers of higher taxes, you're only going to keep 20 cents on the dollar.
Exactly.
80 cents of that dollar will go to government. Come on.
It is called big money. We are not about losing money on this show, but you will
There you
if
go.
Kamala Harris is your president. Steve Moore, we so appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.